The Miller Lite Diamondbacks live pregame show starts now.
Willie Mo drives it. The Diamondbacks win. A hot day outside. We are indoors, and a good crowd coming in for what is Game 3 of a three-gamer with the Cleveland Indians. It's interleague baseball. This is Miller Lite Diamondbacks Live. The Indians going toe-to-toe with the Diamondbacks. Now, what does it all mean? The Cleveland Indians still trying to keep pace with the Detroit Tigers. The San Francisco Giants swept a doubleheader yesterday, but Arizona keeping it close by winning last night. You just saw Willie Mo Pena. Hi there, folks, and there are 81 games now in the books, the halfway mark. This is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. Greetings on this daytime baseball game, and welcome back to the ballpark. So, we take a look at some of the numbers here in the first half. Then we'll show our favorite moments. First off, statistically, anything surprise you here?
Not really. I think after watching this team, it's hard to believe it's already halfway over. Yeah. But you knew the team was going to be improved. You didn't know how much. I think that's the surprising part, is just how much this ball club has improved. I think the bullpen ERA has certainly been skewed. In the last week and a half, 2 weeks, they've gotten hit pretty hard. But really, this team has pitched very well this year. This team has also hit very well this year. And I don't know if we expected this much improvement, Darren.
Yeah, this much improvement in the wins and losses. I think it's a far better offensive team than anyone thought they would be. Your favorite moment of the first half, please.
My favorite moment had nothing to do with pitching or hitting or anything. My favorite moment had to do with Kirk Gibson and also with Ian Kennedy. Ian Kennedy, when he became a father, he beat Cliff Lee, who, well, he doesn't really lose. And then Kirk Gibson. We can't forget this one. Just watch and enjoy, folks. Watch Gibby. That's changing the culture of this ball club, Darren Sutton. I think this team, before Kirk Gibson, was a soft ball club. It is no longer a soft ball club. They've improved because they've started to get that kind of talent. They've started to get that kind of attitude.
So, Gibby takes up for his players. My favorite moment is the players taking up for one another. Not saying that the act of hitting players, that's what it's all about. That's not what excited me. But last year, there was a chance to take up for Mark Reynolds when he had his helmet knocked off his head. This team didn't do it. This team didn't play for one another. To define the word team and use the Arizona Diamondbacks of the last few years would be a true waste of time. So it was fun to see the manager taking up for the players taking up for one another. The weigh-in delivered by the UPS store. What has been your favorite moment from the first half of the season? Log on to those many options. Better yet, just visit foxsportsarizona.com. Certainly glad to have you with us as we play game number 82. Now, the All-Star break, everyone says that's the halfway. The second half begins right after this. Oh, Willie Mo. He'll be ready to pinch hit. Yep, he's going to hit another homer.
D-back fans hoping for more magic from Willie Mo Pena. Now, it was interesting, ever since he was called up from AAA Reno 8 days ago, Willie Mo Pena has delivered. The big fella with 3 home runs, 5 RBI, including last night's dramatic pinch hit, walk-off 2-run home run. And he'll obviously be used quite a bit as a DH in the D-backs' upcoming series against the Oakland A's. But after that, the D-backs return to play in the National League. So what does that mean for the future of Willie Mo Pena? It's our Geico quote of the game, Kirk Gibson, on the future of Willie Mo.
He's on our team now, so I don't look at it I don't look at it as a day-by-day basis. I don't look at it, well, when so-and-so comes back, who's on, who's off, because I know it changes. Somebody could get hurt. We've got a ways to go, but he's done everything we've asked for him. And he's certainly, what he did last night shows you he has the demeanor, he has the experience and the mindset to be able to do that, and he's certainly a weapon because he pounds the ball. When he gets a hold of it, my gosh.
He is a weapon, and that means he may be sticking around. Zach Duke has a chance to turn his season around. It's the D-backs and Indians, the final game of this 3-game homestand, next on Fox Sports Arizona.
Gila River Casinos. Play slots with your Players Club card at any Gila River Casino. You could win up to $20,000 right away. Also, by Southwest Airlines. Unlimited reward seats. No blackout days.
Now you can't have those.
Michael Brantley, Orlando Cabrera as Drupal Cabrera. Get ready to face Zach Duke, the left-hander. And the first pitch, we are underway here at Chase Field. 0-1 the count as that one paints the outside corner to Brantley. Hi there, folks. Trust you're having a good day to this point, and thanks for inviting us into your home today. First 2 games have been really special between these two teams. Zach Duke.
They've been great games, haven't they?
And Zach Duke hopes to keep it going in that same vein. A 5.73 ERA. He was knocked about by the Detroit Tigers in his last outing. Well, there's a good start.
3-pitch strikeout for Zach Duke.
Let's take a look at the lineup that Manny Acta penciled in today. We mentioned the 2 Cabreras. Then it's Carlos Santana, Shelley Duncan, Austin Kearns. Lou Marson is a local product. Jack Hanahan and Carlos Carrasco.
There's Manny Acta. He keeps an eye on the Detroit Tigers game that will be played later tonight. The New York Mets and the Detroit Tigers. The Diamondbacks keep an eye on a game later today. The San Francisco Giants and the Chicago Cubs. They have got no help recently from the Chicago Cubs. This man's been a help to his team, hasn't he? Orlando Cabrera sipping from the fountain of youth. He had a home run against J.J. Putz, a decisive home run a couple of nights ago. Yeah, you were about to go into it, Gracie. These have been two really fun games.
Two evenly matched teams going toe-to-toe, back and forth. They've been fun games to do.
So Willie Mo Pena, it was his home run last night that ended the ball game. Pena really embracing his opportunity in the major leagues first, and that's the obvious thing. But he picked up for Daniel Hudson, who still was racking his brain about giving up a hit to an American League pitcher.
He doesn't. That's the thing. He doesn't think about all the great pitches he made. He just probably didn't sleep all night because of that one pitch. But he was fabulous last night.
Topper up the plate. This will be tough. On a backhand, and it trickles on by into shallow center field. And an infield hit for Cabrera. Let's take a look defensively. David Robleski and Associates brings you Gerardo Parra, Chris Young, Justin Upton, Ryan Roberts, Stephen Drew, Kelly Johnson with Juan Miranda at first. Miguel Montero catches Zach Duke.
Do or die? Well, he died.
And I don't know
that's the only way. Yeah, exactly. Even if he makes the clean exchange, I'm not sure he was going to get Cabrera anyway, who runs pretty well.
Asdrubal Cabrera is a switch hitter. 25 years old, or initially a member of the Mariners organization. And he has shown from the first at bat when he homered to his later at bats that there is flash, there is danger. And for an opposing pitcher, you had better be careful. This is an all-star, folks, at the position of shortstop in the American League.
I just like the way he carries himself. I love the way he plays the position.
Good idea. Good to see Duke coming in there.
That's a really good pitch. But I like the way this kid plays the position. I mean, he's as good as anybody defensively at shortstop. Yeah, you love guys that hit the ball out of the ballpark and drive in runs. But this is a shortstop, a very good defensive shortstop.
He's got a good mentor over there at first base in Orlando Cabrera, who's kept an eye on him. Quick mention. The one thing we have noticed with Duke, as you saw that curveball bounce in the dirt, is that there are spurts, and I'm talking about 2 times through the order, where he just won't believe in that pitch against right-handed batters. He's got to have it against right-handed batters, and I like to see him trying it early.
Yeah, why not? It's one of your weapons. You have to use it. And when he's right, he's got a pretty doggone good curveball.
Got to show it to right-handed hitters. Over the top of a changeup. That made that one that much better. Cabrera flash with the bat, flash with the glove. And in the series and throughout this season, we have seen this kind of work. Oh, my goodness.
You can't expect that every day, but that was fun.
And this is a barehanded effort. There's your reaction in the home dugout, by the way.
Golly.
Pitch is low, 3-2 the count. So curveball, changeup, fastball. There you see the difference. He is a little bit more dangerous as a left-handed hitter. Tends to pull the ball a bit more from this side, or force himself to pull the ball.
I would imagine Cabrera going to be on the run. He is.
Bouncing ball right back through the box and into center field. Hit that one right to the big part of the ballpark. Didn't try to pull it at all. A fabulous approach at the plate. And Zach Duke's in some hot water.
And Cabrera just tapped a couple of pitches foul. A couple of pitches prior. And then he gets something he can handle. He drives it right back up the box. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Well, it's nice to have a guy at the plate that you can believe in is going to make contact You can send the runners on full counts and not worry about a strike them out, throw them out. Well, that kid can play.
The Indians are 41-37. That one is belted into left field. Parra's got to play it on a hop. He keeps it in front of him. The Cleveland Indians lead the Diamondbacks 1-0.
Three straight base hits after a opening strikeout to start the game. Like it's been the last couple of starts, the Diamondbacks going to have to play catch up in a game started by Zach Duke. Well, a very fortunate play there by Gerardo Parra.
Santana with a big home run last night against J.J. Put. Santana a switch hitter with danger. Here's Shelley Duncan. Parra a good play and fortunate to keep it there with him. Duncan got the start last night. Is 1 of 3. He doubled. He scored a run in this series. As that one dives down and away. 1-0 the count. Of course, the son of Cardinals pitching coach Dave Duncan, who, by the way, if you didn't know this, and I'm sure many of you baseball fans have been told, Dad, as a player, was not a pitcher, even though he's a great pitching coach, was a catcher. So the son of a catcher.
Well, I guess if you are a catcher, you get to know pitching very well.
Couldn't agree more. That one is belted center field. Chris Young going back, still tracking to the wall. He leaps and he hauls it in. The Indians making very solid and loud contact early in this game.
Well, when you go to the big part of the park, you've got to hit it a long ways here at Chase Field. Duncan smokes this pitch. Hit it about 405 feet, but it's a couple of feet shy, and Chris Young makes a catch right with his back against the wall.
Austin Kearns has yet to play in this series. He was hitless in 6 at-bats in San Francisco. The years have slid on by now. 31 years old. We remember when he was a young player breaking in with Adam Dunn, a power duo in Cincinnati. Curveball is a strike.
There you go. Go ahead and throw that curveball, Zach Duke, to the right-handed hitter.
A couple of years back, a 24 home run season for Kearns, but last few years, injuries, different clubs, just hasn't really become who many thought he would be. As that breaking ball again, 0-2 the count.
A couple of beauties there from Zach Duke. Both of those just locked up Austin Kearns.
Big guy Kearns. About 6'4", 240 pounds. Former Indian and Indians minor league pitching coach Charles Nagy already standing close to that top step with some anxiousness. Beat him with a fastball. Let's see if there's someone there. Miranda with a good effort couldn't make the play. Kearns really exploded onto the scene, and it's been a few years now. 9 years ago, he hit .315 as a Red.
Had some good seasons offensively with the Reds. So good, the Yankees wanted him.
0-2 the count. Had that time with the New York Yankees, had that time last year, hit just .235 with the Yankees last year. Now they'll get together and talk about things. Traded away by the Reds along with Felipe Lopez and Ryan Wagner to the Nationals. It's a busy trade. Royce Clayton, Brendan Harris, they came back, signed with the Indians as a free agent, traded him to the Yankees, then they brought him back. Inside, 1-2 the count.
It's a good 0-2 pitch, just off the plate inside.
Zach Duke has pitched twice in his career against the Cleveland Indians. A couple of years back, he beat them as a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates. 6 solid innings, 1 run allowed back in June of '09. Inside corner, that's strike 3. Cutting the fastball, showing a few more breaking balls. We'll see how he handles it going forward. Backs playing some catch-up. We stand on deck with Kelly Johnson and also with Stephen Drew, the top of the order for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Kelly starting to step hard in the right direction.
Getting some big hits the last couple of nights. Not getting a lot of hits, but he's hitting when it matters.
And the walks that came a few nights ago. Let's take a look at the entire lineup for the Diamondbacks. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It's Johnson, Drew, and then Justin Upton. Chris Young, Miguel Montero, Ryan Roberts. Watching him late in the game last night was incredible. Juan Miranda, Gerardo Parra, and Zach too.
He's got some guts, doesn't he, Ryan Roberts?
Golly. A guy who had done nothing, who was frustrated, visibly frustrated, helped to start a rally and get in the pitcher's head with a walk and then 2 stolen bases. Over the inside corner, it's a strike.
Facing a tough cookie here this afternoon, Darren Sutton.
Yeah, Carlos Carrasco, you can almost ignore the 3.62 ERA, even though that's very respectable. 24 years old out of Venezuela. Because in his last 4, as Johnson chops that one to the right side. Kelly with a ground out, 4-3, Cabrera to Santana. In his last 4 starts, he's given up 2 earned runs to a .61 ERA. And in his last 4, opponents hitting 175. And mind you, 2 of those 4 starts against National League teams, Pittsburgh and San Francisco. So kind of the first time seeing them factors big as well. So that being said, here's Stephen Drew. Just off the plate, 1-0 the count.
He can rush it up to about 95 miles an hour with good movement. He's got a terrific slider. They're going to have to try to beat this young man in a low-scoring game this afternoon.
Right through that running fastball. 1-1 the count. Stephen, 1 of 8 in this series with a triple, an RBI, and a run scored. He was 0 for 4 last night. Justin waits his turn on deck. That's a foul ball. The other thing that he has done this year, he's got a couple of years in the big leagues, brief stints in 09 and 2010. The one thing he has done this year, he has really jumped the ground balls way up. He's throwing a lot of ground balls. Not necessarily a big strikeout pitcher. Back to the screen it goes.
Went to 94 in on the fist there of Stephen Drew.
This is what we were talking about, the fastball, changeup. Throws it a lot, then a curveball and a slider to go along with it. Good diving, sinking change up there. In the scouting report and in the preparation for it, talking with some of the guys, they said that his change can have a split-fingered fastball diving action. That was that, boy.
Exactly.
Steven high, sky, center field. Going back is Brantley to the wall, and just shy of it, puts it away. Just got a little
missed
bit
it.
in it.
Just missed it.
Let's take a look at the Cleveland defense. Duncan, we saw Brantley and Austin Kearns. Jack Hanahan as Drupal Cabrera, Orlando Cabrera, and Carlos Santana. Lou Marson, local product. Carlos Carrasco. Jack Hanahan at third base.
Yeah, good to see Jack over there. Didn't start the first 2 games as the new kid on the block. Got to play there a little bit, but Hanahan, he's been bucking for a promotion. He wants a little more playing time. But he's hanging around 214 with the batting average, and that's no way to get that promotion.
He's a great third baseman. Swing and a miss, 1-1
Dear,
to count.
what a slider.
The new kid on the block, by the way, Lonnie Chisenhall, made his major league debut a couple of nights ago. He's got 3 hits in this series. He's got a couple of doubles. He's got an RBI. He's got a run scored. And with all due respect to the promotion that Hanahan's bucking for, I was, as Upton puts that one on the ground to short, surprised to see that Chisenhall didn't start again. See if the kick can hit lefties.
Only one way to find out.
First half flashbacks, key moments in ball games. Leaping, saving the ball game. The Diamondbacks would eventually win in Denver, Colorado. You bet. Just one of the many great memories in the first half. Chime in with your favorite. Weigh in on the UPS store delivery. It is visit to Fox Sports Arizona that will get it done. What has been your favorite moment of the first half? As Lou Marson out of Coronado High School slaps that one into right field. And a base hit for the local product, who still makes his home in the wintertime, sleeping in his own bed here.
Those Indian bats are making some loud sounds here this afternoon.
Yes, they are. So now here is Jack Hanahan. First at bat in this series. Signed this past winter, made the club out of spring training. And again, amongst all third basemen in the American League, he is defensively, he's amongst the elite.
Who is the statue?
Can't help you.
Probably somebody from Cleveland.
It's Grover Cleveland. So is that one is rolled out to short? There's one. And is there any? Boy, they just got the one. Right there, Tim Welke saying he was taking it out of his glove. Now, it was a slower roller. I'm not sure if they had a shot at two. You?
Hanahan runs about average, so I think it would have been a close play, but I think Hanahan would have beaten that. He was making the exchange. I think the Diamondbacks may have gotten a break there.
Explain why.
Well, it just looked like he never really had a firm grasp. It looked like it was rolling in his mitt the whole time. What do you think?
I tend to agree with that. I thought initially on watching it live that was a helpful call. All right, here's Carlos Carrasco. He's 0 for 3 in the big leagues as a hitter. Drops down the bunt. Boy, it's a good one. Duke fielding his position. Zach, with the runner moving up to second, makes the play. So with Johnson covering, it's a sac bunt. 1-4 if you're scoring at home with us. So 2 outs from Michael Brantley. That one is a strike. Our key to the game. Brought to you by Nissan. It's not played on paper.
You want to know what that one's mine, Darren. I'm gonna take this one today.
I think I know exactly what it means. May I take a guess?
Sure.
As now time is called. This gives me a moment to say, clearly, as I look out on the diamond, I see all around a bunch of beautiful green grass. So I know it's not played on paper, it's played on grass.
Well, you're exactly right. However, I'm going to take it a step further as that one's
Real test the runner. Upton to the plate. Throw high. Runner moves up. And so it is a 2-0 lead.
And we'll talk about the key to the game after we see what happens here and we break down a couple of mistakes here by Justin Upton. First, a fastball in the middle of the plate that's ripped out into right field. Once you don't get it out of your glove, once you double pump, just eat it. You're not going to get him at the plate anyway. So go ahead and just eat it. Don't throw it. And then when you do throw it, well, you don't need to airmail like everybody. So that allows Brantley to go to second base. Just go ahead and eat it and keep the runner on first base. But anyway, on paper, this ball game, well, it looks and looked before the game started like Cleveland probably has a good chance to win this game on paper because Zach Duke has struggled his last 3 starts. Carrasco, on the other hand, has been brilliant in his last 4 starts. So on paper, it looked like certainly the favorite to win this game would be the Tribe. But you don't play the game on paper. As you said, you play it on grass.
So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Duke
off to a tough start.
Well, he's got about a 5 3/4 ERA this year. That one's bounded. Roberts can't make the play.
All right, what's going on out there today, Darren? What'd you do to these guys this morning?
Kind of hard to explain. That is ruled a base hit by Orlando Cabrera. Runners are on first and third. And there are 2 outs. And you look at both of these innings and you think if in fact he can get the very dangerous as Asdrubal Cabrera, that in both of these innings combined to have just 2 runs allowed would be nothing short of miraculous.
He's already given up 6 hits.
If he can get Asdrubal Cabrera. The switch hitter and the right-handed hitter as a switch hitter, and the pitch is low.
Really a base hit there could have easily been an error on Ryan Roberts. I think the Diamondbacks got a break earlier when it looked like Kelly Johnson dropped a throw from Stephen Drew. So the Diamondbacks have come out a little sluggish here this afternoon.
Cabrera last year had a nice year, but is certainly growing into an all-star caliber player, as we mentioned. Part of an Indians team that's doing a lot of hitting in this series with runners in scoring position, whereas they didn't really have that kind of luck in San Francisco at all. Fly ball, center field, it's in there. 3-0 Indians. So Cabrera 47 RBIs. That's 10 of 23 now with runners in scoring position for the Cleveland Indians. They only had 2 hits and 22 tries in San Francisco.
Just right off the bad handle, but because it was up in the zone, he's able to lift it out into the outfield. Chris Young pulls up on it. And through an inning and 2/3, the Cleveland Indians have got 7 base hits.
So now Carlos Santana, he's a switch hitter. Getting just a tick over 200 with runners in scoring position. But he drove in a run back in the first inning. Breaking ball, a dandy for a strike. He drops that one in there. Santana, initially a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers organization from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Part of the deal that sent Casey Blake out to L.A. And it was his home run that was heartbreaking, if only for a moment, against J.J. Putz, as really Daniel Hudson paid the biggest price with regard to not earning the win, but the team went on to win the game.
It led to some exciting heroics by Willie Mo Pena, but that man deserved a W in the column this morning when you read the paper.
1-1 the count. Big swing over a cut fastball right through it. Santana certainly, as you see him play first, can catch and was a catcher for a long time in the Dodgers organization. A couple of years back, you knew good things were coming. He was the Eastern League Player of the Year in 2009, had a huge season. Into the dirt it goes, and the count is 2-2. Part of his approach, I was thinking about asking you yesterday, we got a brief shot of it. Why would a hitter in the box go high up on that lead toe?
I think it's just all for comfort.
Okay.
There is no right and wrong when it comes to batting stances. It's just whatever, Pete Rose, that was one of the most unorthodox batting stances ever, but he's quite possibly the greatest hitter of all time. Yeah, I don't know why, but he does it from both sides of the plate.
That was the interesting thing to me, and I'm glad you pointed that out, because you just, let's throw a switch hitter up in the air like a Chipper Jones. Totally different look, right-handed and left-handed. He's very similar.
He's got the high leg kick from both sides, which makes it very interesting. I mean, he's a solid hitter. He comes into this game only hitting .225, but he's got some pop in his bat, as we saw last night. But that's a lot to keep correct from both sides of the plate.
Had him out front. Steven. Wouldn't you know it that it's Steven that gets things back together?
If you need an out, have him hit it to him.
Box collections now through August 13th. Jack in the Box for a limited time. Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is back for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. Oh, going inside the Audi Quattro Lounge down behind home plate. Great spot to get some really good food.
Diamondbacks got work to do.
That they do, and they have to do work against a tough customer, as we've talked about, in Carrasco. But it starts with one.
Yeah, you got to just piece it together. A run here, a run there.
Cabrera, quick transfer. And in time for the out.
All right, folks, grab your mitt and get ready as the top sluggers from across Major League Baseball take aim at the grandstands and compete to be crowned the 2011 State Farm Home Run Derby champion. The Home Run Derby is Monday, July 11th at Chase Field. Purchase your tickets now at allstargame.com. Got to watch that. There's going to be some long homers.
Oh, look at all that grub. I'm going to head on downstairs, Grace. You take it from here.
I'll be glad to.
Here is Miguel Montero. That one sinks low. 1-0 the count to Miguel. Montero, 1 of 8 in this series, doubled in a run. Got 19 hits in his last 15 games. That's over 300 as he takes inside. 2-0 the count. One of his hits in this series, a double, and he stands amongst the elite in the National League in 2 baggers. As he buckles out of the way there.
Pitch right there. That thing came back to the inside corner. Montero thinks no way, but it did.
Miguel with those 21 doubles, second in the National League in that category. Big swing, fouls that one off. He trails his teammate Chris Young, the leaders in the National League in 2 baggers. Chase Headley, Hunter Pence, and Chris Young. The bunch with 21 amongst Montero's group. Guys like Jose Reyes, Justin Upton, and Starlin Castro. Miguel, which one of these doesn't belong?
All the speed guys.
That one had him underneath an off-speed pitch and jammed himself a bit as Roberts strolled towards home plate. Let's bring Brad in. Brad, what do you have for us?
Well, I talked to a lot of the guys before the game about some of the moments that stood out for them in the first half of play, and Ryan Roberts immediately said Justin Upton's walk-off home run against the Giants. But when I pressed him a little further about something he did, this was what he said. He was on second base and incredibly aggressive, scores all the way on the wild pitch. That's what he did last night with those 2 steals, and that's really what Ryan Roberts has been about all season long. Guys, back to you.
He's been a great addition, Brad, to this ball club. I think he, as much as anybody, has been a much-needed shot of adrenaline for a ball club that, well, didn't have a whole lot of adrenaline under A.J. Hinch. That one got him. He ain't going to rub it.
Well, there's an edge to Ryan Roberts, isn't there?
I love it.
Threw the bat about 14 rows into the stands, or so it looked, and then as he jogged towards first, he rolled the baseball toward the Indians' dugout as it was sitting on the line.
Yeah, got him right in the bottom of the fanny. That's not a bad place to get hit.
No.
Yeah, it's right here. I like it. Gotta have a little edge to you, Darren. You know, some of your best work is up here is done when you've got an edge to you.
Well, it's easy to sit up here. It's tough being down there. I can't imagine playing this game without an edge. At the major league level. Maybe on a Sunday men's league somewhere you can be relaxed, but not down there with the best players in the world. I guess that has to be managed, that emotion, but I don't see how you do it. Miranda fouls it off.
I've seen some beer league softball.
I know.
Where, I mean, guys go to blows out there on the field. It's pretty competitive.
I know Eric Burns played some softball for a while.
It's always good to have them mentioned on our show.
1-1 the count. Seven hits for the Indians. And that one sinks low to Juan Miranda. Now, Miranda hitless in 5 at-bats in this series. And that's that batting average now, 222. Travel day tomorrow for the Arizona Diamondbacks as they travel to Northern California, take on the Oakland Athletics. Just out front, pounded it foul. Josh Colmenter against Rich Harden on Friday night. Joe Saunders against Josh Outman. That is on Saturday. And then Ian Kennedy and the A's have not yet named their Sunday starter. On Sunday, we'll have all 3 games for you.
See our old buddy Bob Melvin up there, the skipper.
Excited to see Bo Mel. Excited to see Bo Mel manage against Kirk Gibson, 2 dear friends and colleagues.
Gibby was his bench coach here.
The 2-2 to Miranda. Right back to the screen.
And one of our old favorites, Connor Jackson, playing now for the Oakland A's. Remember that trade for Connor Jackson for Sam Demmel?
Sam Demmel now rehabbing in the minor leagues. For Gibson saying they want to increase his workload until he's going a couple of days and then a day off, then a couple of more days, then he'll be up here. But that's an arm that would help. He had a sub-2 ERA before he got hurt. Putting a nice at bat on him. The count is 2-2. Look at the Sunday bar. Get some ice cream.
That looks really good.
Different.
Now we're talking.
Hot chocolate, maybe some fruit and some candy on top. 2-2 the count. Did you have a Sunday bar? It was your birthday last night. Did you have one at your house after? Did everyone come over for Sundays?
No.
2-2 the count. Breaking ball, thrown out, not in time. It's a stolen base.
He said he missed the tag, evidently. Cabrera's not pleased with the call.
It's a good throw.
That's from Tim Welke at second base, and I guess Welke's saying that he got in there. Boy, that's a great throw from Marson. And I think the Diamondbacks got a big break there. Holy smokes. They got him in the head. I don't know. Looking at it, if he gets his helmet, it looks like he gets his helmet. Is the hand in there? I thought he had gotten tagged, maybe in the shoulder. But if it was actually his helmet that got tagged, it might not have been such a bad call after all. But it's really not going to matter now.
To the bag, making the play for the out this year. Just 147 with runners in scoring position for Juan Miranda. A lot of talented young minor leaguers, especially Paul Goldschmidt, the first baseman down in Mobile for the Bay Bears. Kirk Gibson's keeping an eye. He's got 23 home runs this year and an incredible season. High slugging, high on base. Yesterday, when talking with Kevin Towers about the new bullpen he is rebuilding out there, we also asked him about Paul Goldschmidt.
He's a guy that's just a matter of time before he's up here. We're trying to give X and Miranda as many looks as we can right here, and I would imagine before he comes here, I would imagine he'll get at least a taste of AAA to face a little bit better pitching, and that could come rather soon too. And before it's all said and done, if he stays healthy, at some point in time this year he'll be a D-back.
Goldschmidt.
315, 438 on base, slugging 630. Swings over the top of that one. 23 home runs, 69 RBIs. The man out of Texas State, Paul Goldschmidt. By the way, we have to point out some pitching. The other guy that came over in the Edwin Jackson deal, we know about Daniel Hudson, David Holmberg.
Where do you hear this, folks?
He did it again last night. 7 innings, a one-hitter in those 7 innings. As that one is into the dirt.
Keep going.
The young left-hander didn't walk anyone. He struck out 7. That is 5 straight scoreless starts for David Holmberg. He's pitching in South Bend in A-ball. He's going to be moved up to Visalia. 34 scoreless innings pitched in a row.
Wow.
Hey, don't forget, by the way, you can see Paul, how do we say his name?
Goldschmidt.
If you come on out Sunday to the Futures game. The Futures game at Chase Field, XM All-Star Futures game on Sunday. Celebrity softball game that same day. You'll be playing in it.
Get a peek at Paul Goldschmidt. See what you think. We've been raving about him, and rightfully so. He's earned the.
Into the dirt it goes, and then young left-hander Tyler Skaggs, who came over in the Dan Herron deal from the Angels. Big strikeout left-handed pitcher. He'll be in the Futures game as well, along with
Goldschmidt.
2-2 the count.
And one guy that was having a monster year in the minor leagues is already here. Willie Mo Pena. Ooh, just missed there. 3-2.
What a great attitude he has. It's been talked about a lot, but you like to follow up on a day-to-day basis. He said in about the 5th or 6th inning, I go into that batting cage. I let him know as that one is called low. Pretty good pitch. And so Duncan is on, but Pena starts hitting and whacking baseballs in the cage, starting preparing. He said, I'd love to play every day. Who wouldn't here in the big leagues? He said, I'm really enjoying the assignment of pinch hitter, though. And he's just trying to stay short and quick to the ball, much like they constantly tell Justin Upton and Chris Young. He knew they were pitching around him last night. But he said, if they get one above the dirt, I'm going after it. And he saw it come in, a breaking ball at about the waist. Went down to his shoe tops.
I couldn't hit that way.
Oh, no. He hits his own way.
If I was being pitched around, I'd just let him pitch around me. I'll tell you what, anything above the dirt, I'm hacking at.
That's exactly right.
and it was almost ankle high, and he ripped it into the stands. I mean, that's Willie Mo Pena.
He again thought, as he said in Kansas City,
it's an interesting game plan. Not one that would really work back in my day for me. No.
Just like in Kansas City, he thought, as Duke deals, and it's rocketed over that way. So he thinks this ball, he said, I thought it was off the wall for sure. And then it was 2 rows deep.
He's got a little more carry to his ball than just about anybody.
We've gotten very used to Kirk Gibson putting his head down, putting his lineup down and worrying about that day's game, but the questions are starting to come regularly. So when the Oakland series ends, coach and manager and general manager, you really sending him down? Questions have started for Gibson today. Bouncing ball out to the third base side.
I'm not going to tell him.
Kirk Gibson starting to indicate that probably not. You know, he won't say.
That big man, remember last night we said Jody Jackson's going to have to tell him. He won't clobber her. I can't see him going anywhere. Because, you know why? Because he's got a presence. I mean, he's such an imposing figure. He's such a giant.
Bouncing ball, Roberts. Oh, my goodness. It came up. It looked like it got him in the face.
It did. It did.
Tried to play it on a backhand, and it just came up and ate him up. Oh, my, up in the eye area.
Oh, my goodness.
It's like in the area around the right eye.
And one thing we know about Ryan Roberts, he is one tough kid as he yanks the hat away. He's going to have a nice little shiner there. And probably by about the 7th inning, he'll be able to tell his wife and his kid and anybody that asks, yeah, but you should see the other guy.
We gave it to the fan as a souvenir. Mike Owing starts to throw in the bullpen. Fishtails, huh? About black eyes?
Oh, yeah. How'd you get that? Yeah, but you should see the other guy.
Here's Lou Marson. We're not done talking about Willie Mo Pena, though. I know Brad's been talking about that story as well, following it. Brad, what'd you find out down there?
Well, you guys were talking about obviously what he's done on the field, but also Kirk Gibson just loves his presence in the clubhouse, great personality. And I did that walk-off interview with him last night after the 2-run shot, and today in the clubhouse, he apologized to me because he said he was so excited he didn't know what he was saying, but I said you were good, and if you keep doing that, we'll be more than happy to have on the postgame show every night.
But what he's done, and don't you think, Brad, that he's brought a little much-needed juice? You know, he's brought some, something to people around here like him.
Yeah,
and they kind of enjoy getting behind him, don't you think, Brad?
He's got a lot of sizzle to his game and great personality, and certainly couldn't come at a better time. You know, halfway through the season and during a stretch where they haven't been at home very much. But yeah, anytime that guy goes to the plate in a pinch hit role, DH, he's going to, provide some excitement, and I think that's obviously what's going to most likely keep him up here for a while.
And it's those big numbers down at the bottom where you see the big difference. They were hoping to catch that kind of lightning in the bottle with Russell Branyan.
Russell Branyan hit all his home runs in spring training.
And Sean Burroughs had nice spurts as a pinch hitter. It's a good story. Let's see if they can get 2 outs this time. Good hard slide. Just too hard to turn it.
Well, what a great play by Austin Kearns. That is a double play ball all the way. Kearns goes in hard. Kelly Johnson can't turn the double play. I mean, this is just 6-4-3 all day, but Kearns going hard, and he goes right into Kelly Johnson, and he cannot turn it. That's just good baseball right there. It's clean, and the inning stays alive for the number 8 hitter, Jack Hanahan. Boy, I love watching that.
Runners on first and third. Pitches outside, and here's a guy in Kearns who's not having the year he wants, who hasn't had the last few years he wants. You keep earning a job as a role player and a bench player if you play the game that way.
Doggone right. Now, if the Indians end up scoring a run here, you can just go right to Austin Kearns and thank him.
Broken bat.
Oh, Juan Miranda. You got to throw that one to the plate, son. You got to throw that one to the plate, not second base.
And it's 4-0.
As a first baseman, I mean, that play's right in front of you. The ball takes you right to the bag. You're catching it with your foot on the bag. Now, your foot's on the bag. Throw it to the plate. Instead, he throws it to second base. And even if the out's made at second base, the run's going to score. So you just go right to the plate. And you don't have to worry about a base runner in your way or anything. So a mental error there.
Lifted up into the seats. That is a souvenir.
This one's been kind of ugly.
That has so far for the Diamondbacks. They have dug themselves into a hole. They haven't helped themselves. They're facing a really tough pitcher. As that one is hacked up and out of there. 0-2 the count. So give Hanahan an RBI. And the pitcher, Carlos Carrasco, in the hole 0-2.
And if you're Jack Hanahan, you go shake the hand of Juan Miranda.
Inning comes to an end. The Cleveland Indians lead the Arizona Diamondbacks, who'd like a do-over today, 4-0. Beautiful day in the great state of Arizona. Let's take a first half flashback, if you will. Some of the magical moments that we certainly have enjoyed. This base hit left field. This an incredible throw gunning down Emilio Bonifacio. And Melvin Moore clearly drafting off the attention and athleticism there of Gerardo Parra. But one of the great moments in the first half. Diamondbacks won that game. It was a closer ball game than they thought. Zach Duke scuffled and did not earn the win. But how about that throw? And that's Emilio Bonifacio.
That's the fastest man in the game, Emilio Bonifacio.
The folks on D-Backs booth on Twitter have been coming up with some good memories for the first half.
Have they?
Well, like Devin, he's saying, I love the May 14th Cole Mentor's first start against the Dodgers. You were the analyst in that game.
I was fortunate to have that one. He went 6 innings and gave up, I believe, 1 hit and no runs and ended up winning the game 1-0 over Chad Billingsley and the Dodgers.
Fastball is into Gerardo Parra.
And at that point, I think it was one of the biggest games of the season, Darren, because the Diamondbacks were in a downward spiral at that point, losing 6 straight 1-run games, frustrated. Well, they finally won a 1-run game, 1-0, thanks to Josh Cole Mentor.
They had 1 hit, right?
1 hit.
That game
scored
was
on an
Fox.
error, yeah.
Boy, that's a great memory. Devin, thank you. The man next to him's Ian Kennedy, or IPK as you like to call him.
I do.
Levi agreed with you in the open, his complete game. Just hours after becoming a father the next night with no sleep.
Beating Cliff Lee and the Philadelphia Phillies.
That was his vote. D-Backs booth on Twitter. That was his vote.
You see what Cliff Lee's been doing?
3 consecutive, huh?
Complete game shutouts, yeah. 3-1 to Gerardo Parra. So, keep bringing the noise, fans. We want to hear what you think. Yeah, get them going out there, kids.
3-1 the count to Gerardo Parra. Down the line it goes. Foul ball. Bob, by the way, joined us online, and he says when we showed the scoreboard earlier, that was Moses, Cleveland. The city is named after Moses, Cleveland.
Oh, it wasn't named after Grover, Cleveland?
It was not Grover, Cleveland. So it was Moses, Cleveland.
Ah. Well, tell me a little bit about Moses. I'd like to know. Maybe Grover could tell us.
Well,
should I Google?
Yeah, just look him up. 3-2 the count.
Okay. I'll do it.
4-0 is the score. Oh my goodness. That didn't look legal. My, whoa, my.
Don't get me wrong, folks. This is kind of no-hitter looking stuff today. That's a changeup. Wow. You know, Halle Berry's from Cleveland.
Really?
Yeah.
General Moses, Cleveland. He was a lawyer, a politician, a soldier, and a surveyor from Connecticut. He founded the city in 1796. That's who he is.
I'd rather talk about Halle Berry.
No, I understand that. 1-0 the count to Zach Duke. Jeff loved on D-Backs Booth on Twitter the moment where Justin Upton ran over Chris Iannetta earlier in the season at home plate.
I gotcha.
Aggressive base running. Iannetta, good clean play.
Sure.
Held on to the ball. Upton was out, but Justin Upton getting after it. Had a vote. Is that Clue, the log on there? Clue on D-Backs Booth on Twitter says the comeback from 6-0 against the Houston Astros. That's
That'll
strike 3 over the inside corner to Zach Duke. The weigh-in also Chris Lewis. How about the Kelly Johnson grand slam against the Twins? A great comeback.
That's a great call right there. Let's take a look at that one. That was a great crowd that night, wasn't it, Darren?
A sweep of the Minnesota Twins. Kelly takes inside. And Paul agrees with Mark Grace on D-Backs Booth on Twitter. Gibby going crazy on the umpire.
Attaboy.
Breaking ball, good looking pitch. 1-1 the count.
I asked Gibby about that, and he said, all I said was, excuse me, kind sir, but I think you may have been mistaken. And he threw me right out of the game. Gibby was shocked.
That pitch is a little bit low. 2-1 the count. So keep joining us, weighing in, hitting us up on D-Backs Booth on Twitter, and we'll share some first half thoughts with you. That's right, it's the first half.
Oh, my goodness, this guy is something special. You can see why he hadn't given up anything in his last 4 starts.
Anytime the Diamondbacks reach that 6-run mark, they'd love to get there today. Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with a large drink purchase, 4-6 the following day. Kelly, fly ball center. The right-hander, just 24 years old, on a roll and keeping it up today. Surprisingly, in a pennant race, they have a man who's been there a lot the last half decade in Orlando Cabrera. Early on, he reminded his mates, we haven't accomplished anything yet.
You know, it's something that you learn, you know, through the years, knowing that, you know, you can have a great first month, second great month, second month, but it's a long season. It's a lot of games, and it's just a way with the average. You know, guys start really cold. You know, then you see in August and October, they already hitting 300, you know. So a lot of things can happen, and we can get hot again as we can get cold, you know. So we have to keep that in mind and not try to celebrate too early.
Not try to celebrate too early. The veteran Orlando Cabrera, who has played a ton of postseason games, has done so with Boston, with the Angels, with the Chicago White Sox, the Minnesota Twins, and the Cincinnati Reds.
Kind of a today's version of what Reggie Jackson said. When the dust settles, players are usually where they're supposed to be. That one's a line. Stephen Drew just making it look easy. Just making it look easy, Stephen Drew. 2 quick outs. You know, when the dust settles, in other words, when the season's over, you know, the 300 hitters, they'll be hitting 300. The 250 hitters, they'll be hitting around 250. You know, the 15-game winners, they'll win their 15 or somewhere around their game. You know, that's just the way baseball is. It has a unique ability to repeat itself, but in a great way.
Here's Asdrubal Cabrera as that one is rolled out to third, a foul ball. That's why the season is long, and it plays itself out, as you are mentioning, and that's why a veteran who's been there a lot, like Orlando Cabrera, though he's not an every single day player, pulled his mates together at 30 and 15 and said, easy boys. That one is ripped into left center field. Asdrubal Cabrera can run and roll. Watch it. Picking him up and putting him down. He backs it up because the double was the best option. Asdrubal Cabrera, a 3-hit afternoon.
Well, it's nice when you can be 4 innings into a ball game and you've already got 3 hits. And you're thinking, man, I might have myself a special day. Hanging, breaking ball up in the zone. That's when you're just really happy it didn't get hit out of the ballpark. So you still got a chance to put a 0 on the board here if you're Zach Duke.
So you're saying there's a chance.
How?
To put a 0 on the board.
Oh, yeah. Big chance. Just make a couple pitches here.
As long as you're saying there's a chance. That's all I need. Surprised you with that one, didn't I?
Yeah, I was
like, the count.
Huh? I didn't know you were going Dumb and Dumber on me.
Santana, as we mentioned, a Dodger catcher, and was moved about a bit. They had plans for him with back up and look at Russell Martin, a chance to do that. The offense was what made him such a valuable piece for these Dodgers, and the fact that he's a switch-hitting catcher. There are many who think, and you mentioned it earlier, that his best is yet to come offensively in the big leagues.
I kind of like what I see from him. I mean, he gets his rips. He doesn't get cheated up there.
The hope is about 20 to 30 home runs once he really develops and is out there getting 500-600 at bats, as that one misses outside. 3-1 the count. And he's still just 25 years old.
Well, if you're thinking he can hit 30, that's a lot of homers.
Yes, it is. A couple of years ago, in 130 games, hit 23 in the minor leagues, and played as a very young man in Double-A. Changeup on 3-1, 3-2 the count. Duke out of Clifton, Texas, drafted out of high school, Midway High School by the Pirates. Was really good when he first burst onto the scene in 05, going 8-2. As a pro that year, he won 20 games if you include his minor league numbers. Pitch is low, going to third.
We rave about you as Drupal because you're deserving of it. But you're deserving of us saying that was a terrible decision. What are you doing, son?
You got to capture this if you're the Diamondbacks. Arizona Desert for one great night, the summer's biggest event. Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2011 All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 12th. Live from Phoenix at 5, only on Fox. And part of the pre- and the post-game coverage of the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. One of the color analysts on set. We're proud of him. Our very own Mark Grace will be part of that production crew.
Looking forward to that. Baseball is by far the best All-Star game.
Oh,
I mean, by far. It's the only game the players actually try.
You bet. In on the hands.
Good.
Buries a fastball in there. Hanahan.
This young man is really impressive. Carlos Carrasco. As has just about every single Indian that's taken the mound. From their bullpen, their starters have been terrific. Josh Tomlin last night was so impressive.
All these young guys learned a lot from Charles Nagy. Upton about to hit. We go poolside a little bit more on Justin. We bring in Brad. Brad?
Another one of the great moments from the first half of the season. Justin Upton earlier this month with his first ever career walk-off home run against the San Francisco Giants. But talking to him earlier today, ever since May 29th, hitting well over 400, he says it's the first time in his career that he's sustained a run like this. And it's because he's not pressing. He's not stressing about keeping it going. As we take a look back at just a fabulous job sending it the other way. But you know, just in the past would try to keep the mojo going, and it just put so much pressure on him. But ever since he had that great chat with Don Baylor, he's just letting the game come to him, and that's why he's sustained this long stretch of hitting so well.
And a lot of people, and thank you, Brad, have said it. I listened to the man sitting to my right up here say it for 3 years. But you have to get to that point yourself. That's trust your abilities. And then you come to a point.
Trust your talent.
Then you come to a point where you do.
And there is no magic formula of when it's gonna it's gonna happen, but you just unfortunately there's no expiration date. You don't know.
Justin belts it deep left center field. Upton with a homer. Goodbye no-hitter. Goodbye shutout. 4-1. What an incredible season this young man is having.
I think he just trusted his talent.
$150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. It's a Fulton Holmes homer.
What a bolt. I mean, a rocket Off the bat of Justin Upton. And Darren, you kind of said it. After that just inexcusable base running faux pas that ended the Cleveland Indians' top of the fourth by Asdrubal Cabrera. You said, man, maybe that will light some fire under these Diamondbacks. Well, it did Justin Upton.
You got to capture that mistake.
Absolutely.
You're being throttled by a guy. You know? You could have been hitting this inning 6-7 to nothing. The way Duke is struggling today.
I mean, they absolutely had Zach Duke. They had him hooked, and they let him off the hook there, and they let the Diamondbacks off the hook there. That ball was crunched, wasn't it? go sit by the. Oh man, Ryan Roberts got hit. No, I'm sorry, that's Chris Young. Well, he got it good too, unfortunately. That got the front elbow. I'm so used to Ryan Roberts getting beat up today.
93 miles an hour.
It looks like it got that left forearm or maybe elbow area. Yeah, the tricep area. Ouch. Honestly, when that happens, Darren, you just want to stand there and you want to bawl your head off. You want to cry because it really hurts, folks. Trust me, it really, really hurts.
Well, in a silly, simple life comparison, be reaching into a shelf somewhere in your house and bang that elbow area, bang that area around your funny bone. Let alone just a small little bang, it hurts.
Yeah,
Can't imagine 93 miles an hour.
Yeah, just stand about 60 feet away and let Shane Doan rip a slap shot right at you.
Boy, we're a violent booth. Montero chops that one foul. A couple of weeks ago, I don't know if you folks at home remember, we were trying to talk about what it was like. I don't think you were working the game. To have a catcher have a foul ball go off an arm area, somewhere off his arm. I said, just go out back and just pick up a log and just whack yourself in the arm with it. Then I caught myself and said, really don't. Actually don't. Let's see what the Diamondbacks can keep doing. Boy, look at the sink on that pitch. And I said it again, so please don't pick up a log and hit yourself in the arm.
No, that would hurt.
Unless it's a pecan log from Stuckey's.
Remember those?
0-2 the count. I've been on many an interstate in my life, driving all over the place, as a lot of our viewers have.
That was back in the day when you took a vacation, you put the kids in the back seat of the car and you just started driving. And you ate at the Stuckey's and the Cracker Barrels. Right on all the interstates.
0-2 the count. By the way, Carlos Carrasco had hit just one batter all year prior to that.
And it came also after he gave up a home run.
Rolled to the right side, Chris Young. It's bobbled, and they do get the trail runner in Montero. And don't you know, Chris Young was relishing his shot at second base. He didn't get it because it was bobbled by Cabrera.
He goes to turn it, then he can't find it.
So Carrasco, just 2 hit batters in his major league career. Big swing by Roberts.
So you're thinking he maybe punked CY on purpose?
I don't know. He's pointing out some numbers. It's a very interesting statistical game.
Well, it seems like your biggest memory of the season was a beanball war. It looks to me like you're wanting another memory. Yep, folks. We've got a violent booth up here, folks.
The 0-1. Roberts to right field, and it hangs up. Tough break for Ryan. He really scalded it, but Justin Upton continues his all-star season. He homers, at least gets the Diamondbacks moving in the right direction for Upton. That is 13. And then Chris Young got drilled immediately after that. Folks enjoying a nice day by the pool, and one of the great traits of this yard is that pool. Who has the most walk-off home runs for the Diamondbacks all time? Well, we saw Willie Mo Pena.
I can tell you, it ain't me.
Shelley Duncan takes low. 1-0 the count to Duncan. I'm talking about great memories, and I know there are a lot of you watching, you casual fans. Why you keep saying the second half's coming up? Starting today. Well, this team's played 81 games.
That's
They're
the
in
halfway
game number
point.
82. The All-Star game comes traditionally about a week or a week and a half, sometimes 2 weeks after that halfway point. Second half begins now. And so a lot of you folks have been joining us and sharing some of your first half memories. By the way, Arizona with this record has not been at this far over the 500 mark since 2007. They play today at 44-37. That's 7 over 500. The Indians are 4 games over 500. And it has made Chase is always a beautiful place to come. It was in 2008, 2009, and 2010, but it's fun to come when they win.
Absolutely.
It's a great venue, but winning is so fitting here. Catherine Ryan from Albuquerque chimed in with her favorite memory. It was a 15-4 win over Florida. Catherine, or Kathy I should say, loves offense. The reason she picked that game because Upton was 5 for 5, Johnson was 4 for 6, and Montero was 3 for 5.
That was a fun game.
15-4, Kathy. And yeah, viewers in Albuquerque. Do you know that?
I love it.
And I'm told parts of southern Utah as well. 3-2 the count. Swing and a miss, a changeup.
That might have been the best pitch Zach Duke's thrown today. That was a beautifully thrown changeup and a sprawling Shelley Duncan right over the top of a good pitch.
Austin Kearns with the biggest swing of the day fouls it off.
Yeah, that was definitely a healthy rip.
Isaac joined us on D-Backs Booth on Twitter. His favorite memory, when Joe Saunders covered the plate in Colorado. Ended up getting tackled down on his back. That was his favorite memory. Ryan.
He threw a beautiful ball game that day, remember? That was a big one.
He's been on a nice roll, Joe Saunders. Stepping up to the upper tier of that rotation. Didn't mean to. Duke can't get there, but Stephen Drew's there every single time.
Stop it.
Every single time.
That boy can play some shortstop, folks. Just a great play. I really enjoy watching Stephen Drew play shortstop. I like watching him play baseball, period. If he hits a ground to the second baseman, he busts it all the way down the line. Just plays the game the correct way. And it also helps to be extremely talented.
But he's coming of age. I mean, he really, the instincts that he might not have had initially, he's developed. Those steps that a coach asks you to take, he takes them on his own. You know what I mean by that, and you knew it as an infielder, you did it so well. Oh, he might throw something off speed here. I'm going to cheat a step or two over. Well, that'll make you 10 extra plays
That's
a week
exactly
at
right.
times. I mean, Matt keeps an eye, but Steven moves on his own, according to Matt.
Joe Borowski and I have mentioned that one's nice play by Zach Duke. He's got some Cal Ripken in him in second base. He's not as big as Cal, or I'm sorry, at shortstop, but he's just got the instincts of Cal Ripken.
Gonzalez and Chris Young. More newer Diamondback fans kind of tie Young into late game heroics, don't they?
The ambassador, along with CY.
He's got to be in the house today somewhere.
I would imagine Gonzo's got to be around somewhere.
Juan Miranda digs in, squares around to bunt and takes a breaking ball high.
Well, when you see that from a slugger, you know, you're thinking, man, I don't know if I'm on this guy today.
He's had good stuff, and it's been a struggle for Juan lately. As the 1-0 is outside, Miranda battling through a 4 for 38 skid.
Yikes.
In which he struck out 12 times. CenturyLink, high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. Carrasco, 95. Duke, 889. Nice showing him where he got hit in the arm.
It hurts.
There's the Three Musketeers, by the way.
They're together a lot, those three.
Used to be a duo, a dynamic duo, and, well, it's pictured. One man managed to squeeze himself into the group. And that's Ryan Roberts. 2-1 the count.
My partner likes to call him Tat Man.
Well, the public certainly does, as that one's pulled onto the ground. And Miranda continues to struggle. We have been remembering our favorite moments. Ron on D-Backs Booth on Twitter says, my favorite moment was this right here. Kirk Gibson with the guys, showing him how hard he could run the bases.
Everybody running off the field.
And he included in his note on Twitter the chalk mark. So well done, Ron.
That's
you remember
classic.
the chalk mark as well. Oh, my goodness. Bouncing ball, it's a foul ball. Yes, if it's sometime before the game and you're a ball player and you plan to sneak around out on the field, you can't.
No.
I mean, we weren't even on television, even near looking to shoot everything. We just happened to have a camera in a spot.
And happen to have a memory.
And we have players, folks, as that one is lifted into the seats. 0-2 the count on Parra. Immediately looking to us. You guys had to get it. Did you get it? Who did someone find
sure.
it? One player after another. We have to have it.
Ralphie got it.
And it was locked down up there, that camera. Line drive, base hit into center field. Gerardo Parra has been on a nice roll, so much so Kirk Gibson was talking about him before the game. Actually, out loud giving himself a hard time for pinch hitting for him late last night. Gibson saying, I don't know if I'll pinch hit for him against the lefty again.
It's tough to pinch hit for a guy that's 3 for 3. And that was the case last night. Gerardo Parra was 3 for 3, and you get pinch hit for it.
Parra now has 7 hits in his last 5 games. He's 7 of his last 14. And Melvin Mora is up.
The impressive thing about Parra is it seems like he can handle the really quality pitchers. Justin Verlander. He ripped a couple of doubles off him. He just missed a double in his first at-bat, about a foot foul down the right field line, and then he ripped that pitch into center field.
They talked about Parra in spring training, and they talked about him a lot. The way he came into camp, not expecting to be handed anything. That pitch is outside. 1-1 the count. Melvin Mora at 230 without a long ball, 16 RBIs. Hit 285 last year for the Rockies when Ian Stewart struggled. And then Ian Stewart went down with an injury. The 1-1. Well, what a pitch. 1-2 the count. A lightning bolt at the knees. Jeff Blum continues on the mend. And getting closer and closer to making waves and maybe shaking up the roster a bit, coming back from the knee procedure. The veteran, third baseman and infielder, utility player. And so Blum, I would imagine, Kirk Gibson saying yesterday his hope is around or sometime before the All-Star break. Well, that's getting close. That one is outside. Give us a quick snapshot on Jeff Blum. You've been around and covered him for a long time, played against him.
Well, he's a guy that he's a switch hitter. Guy's not going to hit a bunch of home runs, but he just knows how to play baseball. You can put him anywhere on the infield, and he's gonna play the position more than well enough. and help you a little bit offensively too.
Been playing rookie ball here. They call it the Fire League. Rookie ball here in Arizona for the Diamondbacks.
Right.
Head out and play some higher level games. Everything goes okay. He's ready to roll.
He's also a great presence in the clubhouse. Always well liked wherever he goes.
Rolled to the third base coach's box. Boy, Matt Williams wanting not to make a play there.
Trying not to make a play. He's busy putting signs on.
I think that's why. It was an obligation to keep an eye on Gibby. Moore goes down on strikes.
Hey fans, yesterday we introduced you to the Fox Sports Arizona girls. To find out more on who they are, where you can meet them, and what they're doing for Fox Sports Arizona, make sure to follow them on Twitter and like them on Facebook. Some delightful ladies.
So 2 outs for Kelly Johnson. Stephen Drew waiting on deck. See if Kelly can lean on one, change this ball game immensely.
Boy,
hard to lean on those, huh?
What a pitch. Comebacker right to the inside corner.
I mean, just pinpoint command. Yet he hit Chris Young last inning. Might have hit his spot.
You got to burn your saddle about that, don't you?
0-1 the count. Rolled out to second. This time there to make the play is Orlando Cabrera. The inning comes to an end. Down by 3 with some time, but he's tough. And it's been about the offense for these Cleveland Indians. Carlos Santana, switch hitter, batting right-handed. Then an RBI by Michael Brantley through the hole. 2 runs scored in the second inning. And then belted to deep left field. An RBI fought off there by Cabrera. A broken back ground ball. And instead of going home on this play, opting to try with a tag. And so Zach Duke, a tough day. 5 innings. 9 hits, 4 runs earned. And Justin Upton added a home run for the Diamondbacks. That's where we stand. 1-1 the count. Joe Pa goes to work.
We haven't seen Joe Pa for a while.
I'm glad to see him out here.
They told me Joe Patterson was on the team, and now I'm starting to believe it.
Now, he had that ERA would be much lower. He had 1 really big blow-up outing, and that's it this year. Otherwise, He's one of the great stories of the first half as well.
I agree with you.
This is a young man that, as that one is fought off, that's a fair ball. Hanahan had no idea. And I think all of us thought it was going to be well fouled. It just hugged that line the whole time. Hanahan had no idea to even take off and run.
He has, he thinks it's a foul ball. Oh, wait a minute. Huh? Oh, better run. And then Gerardo Parra had trouble with it in the corner, and he was able to get to second base.
Well, that's a good problem to have as a hitter, isn't it?
Yeah, even you just accidentally hit doubles.
So Hanahan, he's been bucking for that promotion.
That'll get him a few more looks.
Bunts and fouls it off at home plate. 0-1 the count. Joe Patterson. You're talking about the work he has done out of the bullpen, and clearly Kevin Towers saw something he liked, picked him out of that Giants organization as Carrasco bunts that one out to third.
He's laid down a couple of beauties, hasn't he?
Put it exactly where he needed to. Sac bunt, a strikeout, and then another sac bunt. First two of his big league career. It seems as if Tim Belcher likes for his pitchers to be, as much as they can in interleague play, all-around baseball players. Because he was raving yesterday about his pitchers and the way that they are getting prepared for this series. He kind of made a promise that there'd be some good hitting, and we've seen it. They bunted well.
Got to play against Belch for quite a few years. He had some really good seasons with the Los Angeles Dodgers. I wouldn't call him a good hitter, though.
No.
He was a good pitcher.
But I think he realizes that he at least wants his pitchers to be as prepared as they can. That one is low. Infield drawn all the way in. Yeah, I mean, they've all gone to hitting. Saw it last night. Breaking ball sweeps out of there. Tomlin handled himself very well. Talbot handled himself very well. You saw Josh a moment ago. But Joe Patterson didn't have a major league ERA until May 21st. That's when he gave up his first run here in the big leagues. Want to remind you, Gila River Casinos, great partners with the Diamondbacks and Fox Sports Arizona. Bring you Kutchenko. Find out and learn how you can play right here at the Chase Field kiosk. Your Section 111 during regular season home games. There's a winner every time.
That's going to do it for Joe Pa. Aaron Heilman going to come in, try to get out of this mess.
There's a man going round.
Next homestand at Chase Field begins July 15th with the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's Beat LA weekend, which means you can save 20% on lower-level tickets and get $10 in free D-Bucks food and merchandise credit. When you share the offer online with friends on Facebook or Twitter, the discount increases to 40%. For more information and to buy discounted tickets, visit dbacks.com/BeatLA. It's always a great day when the Dodgers lose. So today's a great day. They lost.
Pitch is low, 1-0 the count. They lost 1-0 to the Minnesota Twins, is what you were talking about. Aaron Heilman takes the assignment.
Dodgers got more problems just losing to the Minnesota Twins today.
They're trying to make payroll. Oh my goodness. How in the world did that happen? Something told Orlando Cabrera that that was a pitch he wanted something to do with. Otherwise, it would have hit him.
It would have hit him right in the chops.
Was the runner moving?
No. Yes, he was moving. That was a hit and run.
Oh, my God.
That was a hit and run. That's why he swung at it. That's a big out there from Aaron Heilman.
Wow.
Maybe a purpose pitch there. Yeah, that's just tough luck. Maniac taking a chance and putting a hit and run on there and ends up giving the Diamondbacks a big out. Good pitch there by Aaron Heilman.
The D-backs bullpen, first 41 games of the year, had a 2.89 ERA, talking about dividing up these 81 games. And then in the games that have followed, the bullpen ERA is over 5. Pitch misses outside. The other part, the biggest struggle, I think, too, is the inherited runners that have scored a much, much higher clip, about twice as high as the early part of the season.
Those are the killers.
And that doesn't get mentioned much. Because technically a reliever's ERA is hit or miss. I mean, you can be, and I mean this respectfully to Joe Patterson, but one of the reasons Joe would face a batter here and a batter there, he did so well, as you see those numbers we're speaking of. A lot of times a guy like Patterson, if he does give up a run, it might be someone else's. That doesn't affect his ERA. Now, Patterson was great for the first 2 months of the season.
Now Aaron Heilman trying to save his bacon here this afternoon.
Two and one the count. Didn't sell him on that play. As Drubel, 3 hits today. High fly ball center.
Nice job by Aaron Heilman.
And it was that hit and run.
Dan, Diamondbacks have just found a way to, I don't know how, but they've hung around.
Could be interesting.
They've hung around.
Could be interesting. Stay tuned. This outing had an ERA of below 1 in his last 4 starts, outside of one mistake to Justin Upton. Don't even know if it was a mistake. It was a home run. He's been dynamic. Everything is advertised.
The stuff is great. The command is great. But like I said, the Diamondbacks somehow, some way, Darren, have hung around in this game. This game should be 10-1 if you ask me. But instead, the Diamondbacks are just a couple of base runners away from bringing the tying run to the plate.
Well, they've been out hit 10-2 as that one is outside to Stephen Drew. And as noted on the recent road trip, and it's applicable again now, this team hits better later in games. They've just trended that way all year long. They'll hang around and believe, and you have explained to us how teams that tend to do that are encouraging one another in the dugout, reminding one another that, all right, let's go. Now's the time. Stephen Drew out front of a changeup. Hits it deep though. Into right. Into the corner. Out of here! Hanging around. Hitting late in ball games. 4-2 is the score.
Remember we saw a home run in Detroit, Darren, off the bat of Johnny Peralta on a changeup. He got extended, even though he was out in front of it, he got extended. Watch full extension there from Stephen Drew. And when you get fully extended, you catch it on the barrel. Even when you're a little out front, the ball will carry. And it carried just enough into the Cleveland bullpen. Hanging around.
Justin back to the screen. Arizona slugging percentage against opposing pitchers. The first time through, 387. The second time through, 403. The third time through this year, over 500, 507.
My gosh. It's unheard of.
And a Fulton Holmes homer, $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Well, what do you do with that pitch?
I think Justin's asking Lou Marson the same thing. Please don't do that again.
Stephen with 5 home runs with 43 runs batted in. Got him hard, slider away. Upton goes down that time. Well, he just went outer half and it disappeared. So now Chris Young.
The game of baseball is just so funny, Darren. At bat before, Justin Upton hit a missile about 410 feet. And then the very next, against the same pitcher, a three-pitch strikeout. It's just a strange game. It's why we love it.
Oh, we were talking about it the other night, late in the ball game. Kelly Johnson has an 11-pitch at bat, hits a decisive triple off the wall. Next hitter, Stephen Drew, a 10-pitch, similar at bat, almost exactly the same. He was retired. Same type of battle, same type of back and forth. Chris Young, by the way, is the poster child this year for third time against a pitcher. Hits .345 the third time through. Slugs almost 700 as that one is outside. The first time he faces a pitcher, it's a $160. The second time he hits .282. The third, .345. Outside, 3-1. That time, if there's room, he got him. Is there room, though? Marson puts it away.
Well, that is a big out for Carrasco. A 3-1 pitch fastball right down Broadway, and Chris Young can't do anything with it. And he'll dejectedly go back to the dugout. Those are those pitches that get you right back in ball games. You work so hard to get to a 3-1 count, then you get your pitch and you miss it. That's frustrating.
So now Miguel Montero. He's 0 for 2. He has popped to short. He has grounded out to second. Game number 82, the second half of the season, is beginning today. Ouch. Piece of a lot of folks back behind the plate. Look like I got Morrison and DeMuro as well.
Arizona guy, Mike DeMuro, the home plate umpire.
Crew of DeMuro with Welke out there, the crew chief at second base. Jim Reynolds is at third. Dave Rackley, the first base umpire. Miguel fouls that one back. We were remembering some of our favorite moments of the first half. You folks have been helping us on D-Backs booth on Twitter as well as FoxSportsArizona.com. Fred Perez Jr. said, "My favorite memory of the first half was when my son wanted to stay in this seat instead of going up to the play area and wanted to watch the game with me."
I don't think it can get any better than that.
Outside, 1-2 the count. Oh, it's the
and
best.
There's nothing wrong with that either.
No, Dad just had a little moment there where he got to stay and watch the action. He was more than willing to head up. Now, Dad, let's see what happens here. Fastball in.
So he's not that father that says, just go on up there yourself and here's $20, bring me back a beer. He's not.
I don't think so.
No, okay.
Yeah, I think he's not like that.
I'll be here. You just come on back when you're done. No, none of that.
That was more like a generation or two back. The 1-2. Hanging around. Jonathan said, "My favorite memory of the first half on D-Backs booth on Twitter is Gibby jumping into the celebratory pile after the walk-off."
That's a good one.
Against the Giants, Upton homered.
I've
showed it.
I've never seen a manager do that. Most of them anymore are just too old to do it. I mean, can you see Jack McKeon and Davey Johnson out there? Woohoo! I can't see that happening. Baseball's going old school these days.
The 1-2. Oh, boy, he got him. Fastball into the catcher's mitt. They get one more back. They've got 9 outs to play with. Stephen Drew out front of a changeup. That was into the corner. Defensive player owning the entire game. It was Stephen Drew. He was phenomenal defensively. On June 17th, he was part of 11 assists in the ball game. time and time and time again, the pitcher knew that he would be there. And Steven with that big game against the White Sox, an 11-assist game. And by the way, since 2008, that's the most assists in a game as a shortstop. Steven Drew.
He's been terrific again here this afternoon. He's been terrific all year. I mean, defensively, he's been fabulous. Offensively, his home runs are slightly down. That was his 5th. That's a low total for him. He's got some pop.
Mm-hmm. He got doubles and triples pop too. And that's what you see from Drew, kind of the combination of total extra base hits. Patrick on D-Backs booth on Twitter mentioned that as his favorite moment of the first half, the Steven Drew defensive night. Just with that one is a changeup on 2-1, swung right through. Just Patrick with a bit of a hiccup. You said that Steven had a 10-assist night.
It was 11, huh?
It was, and of course our official assist counter and statistician Greg Schulte made note, the governor, that it was 11.
Oh, okay.
We were okay with it. But Patrick, you got gubbed. And Carlos Santana out front of a changeup.
There's the beautiful changeup from Aaron Heilman way out in front. There's Santana. Heilman trying to keep the tribe at bay, if you will.
Just get those numbers right. And if you're going to tweet, he's over there. He's doing counting right now. He's got the calculator out, keeping track of all the important numbers.
363.
Hi.
And he leads the league.
Yeah, that was just supposed to be a shot of Greg Schulte. Really no need for you to even be in the shot or acknowledge the camera. All right, let's move on from that shot now. That one's outside. 1-0 the count to Travis Buck.
I love this game.
Walton scored and struck out. And check that.
It's just unbelievable. Poor Greg. Trying to talk to folks all over the highways and byways of the great state of Arizona. Paint the picture in there. And
never met a camera I didn't like.
You guys are just monkeying around behind him. The 2-0. It's just
another nice pitch by Heilman. Rolls about 91, 92.
No, it's not. Seriously.
He's got such a great changeup.
Sorry, Greg. Just wanted to support the shot of Greg Schulte. The 2-1. 2-2 outside corner to Travis Buck. It's enough out of you guys.
Fun at the old ballpark, Darren.
2-2 the count.
Good matinee.
Lifted that one, wall struck left. There goes Parra chasing. He won't get there, over the wall for a ground rule double.
Buck, a nice job with that pitch. Gerardo Parra really playing him on the pull side, and he just drives it on one bounce over the wall. That ball had a lot of carry to it.
Buck doing a fine job in that pinch hit assignment there for Shelley Duncan. Got to keep it right here. I mean, literally keep it right here, as you kind of are feeling a little bit of momentum creep into the other side. Kearns takes a fastball. It's a strike. Buck out there at second base was an A's first round pick in 05 out of ASU.
Just never got it going with the A's, did he?
No, and he signed as a free agent this past winter. The A's just let him go. Inside on the corner. 0-2 the count. Four runs, 11 hits for the Indians and no errors. 2 runs, 3 hits and no errors for the Diamondbacks. That pitch dives low. Alberto Castillo, who came on last night, cleaned things right up. Cuban-born left-hander. As a very young man, fled to the Freedom. As that one into right field, here comes Upton and hangs up enough The 4 greatest moments in Major League Baseball All-Star history go head-to-head to determine which is the most memorable. Visit MLB.com/moments. Vote now for your favorite midsummer classics. Hit up Fox, by the way, on July the 12th, 5 o'clock Pacific, to watch the ball game and find out who won. Lou Marson now. That pitch is high. 1-0 the count. Marson the other night, young man who grew up, though he has Michigan roots, he grew up here in the Valley. His family moved out here. Coming to D-backs game as a younger guy. He had never played in this ballpark. He had some time in the big leagues with the Phillies, had never played here in his hometown. As that one is low, 2-0 the count. So for him to come out to play in what is this year the side of the 2011 All-Star game and to get a base hit the other night, it was special for him in a quiet way. You know, he's a guy that shares the catcher's position, not a frontline player. But a really good catch and throw guy.
Very good defensive catcher. Ball 3.
And they certainly remember him at Coronado High School, where he played himself into the 4th round out of high school in 2004. And he was humble the other day when I spoke with him. Yeah, I played a little football too. He was a great quarterback in high school. Broken collarbone cost him a chance to play in college. That's ball 4, and he's on.
Now, if you can find a way to get that elusive third out, if you're Aaron Heilman, you keep the momentum in your corner. But he's not going to get that opportunity because Kirk Gibson's got the hook with him.
We will step aside. Alberto Castillo comes on.
Say a good one, Alberto.
We'll talk a little bit as we introduce him to you after this. Not done. Alberto Castillo was called up from AAA. A left-hander who used a very low arm angle yesterday. This is in his major league career, the work he has done. When he's facing a right-hander, he'll raise that arm angle up just a bit. He's been around for quite a while. He's 35 years old. As we mentioned, a native of Havana, Cuba, who, when he left Cuba, eventually ended up in South Florida pitching in junior college. He's been a pro for a long, long time. Back in 1994 is when it all began, and he gets a shot here in Arizona to get lefties out. And this time it's Hanahan.
Been a very long time, Darren, since we've seen the Diamondbacks have 2 left-handed relievers pitch in the same game. I mean, a long time.
The 1-0. Doesn't get the corner. 2-0 the count.
Well, that was like submarine.
Castillo in AAA Reno had an ERA of 1.5.
That's Mike Myers right there. Former Diamondback.
Even go to work on 2-0. It's high. 3-0 the count. Alberto, in his time between Norfolk and the Baltimore organization and Reno, as we mentioned, has a 1.83 on the season. You talk about a journeying pitcher who has really never settled in one place but has kept working. That's high. That's ball 4. And Carrasco receives the assignment with the bases loaded to face Castillo. What a night the pitcher has had. Afternoon, better said. It's been a great afternoon here indoors. A couple of sac bunts. He has struck out, but it's been that right arm that has been the difference.
There's a strikeout, boy, Alberto.
So Alberto, while playing in the Giants organization, playing in the Yankees organization in the minors, found himself without an organized job, meaning attached to a major league team in the minors. Swing and a miss, 0-2 the count, and that was about 99. So he pitched in Schaumburg in an independent league, Newark, New Jersey, Atlantic City, and then one season he played for a team called the Road Warriors in independent league baseball. They didn't have a home. They were always on the road.
And boy, they were a great tag team.
To right field and up into the seats it goes.
Remember the Road Warriors?
I do.
Professional wrestlers. Oh, they were big league. Hawk and Animal.
Oh, 0-2 the count. That pitch is low. Yeah, pitching on a team. You know, there's Bridgeport, there's Long Island, there's Newark, Lancaster, Atlantic City, Somerset, the Camden River Sharks. They had no home. Pulled foul.
So they just played a road game.
They play for 3 or 4 days and go off to the next city.
Okay, now that, so you just, I guess you don't even get an apartment.
No, always in a hotel.
Wow, that is extremely minor league.
The 1-2.
But you know what? As long as you live the dream, you might just make it to the big leagues.
Back here in the big leagues now, isn't he? He's not a road warrior anymore.
Hawk and Animal.
FanFest word of the game delivered by the UPS store is Edge. Log on to FoxSportsArizona.com now for your chance to win 2 tickets to FanFest at the Convention Center next month. Now, we're giving away 3 pairs of tickets to it during every D-backs telecast this month.
Edge, huh? You've had one today.
And that's why, as Travis Buck takes over in left field, it was tied into this man in the batter's box who plays with it very successfully. With an edge, Ryan Roberts. Takes a pitch down and away. 1-0 the count to Roberts. Doing some coaching to himself right there, reminding him to stay back. Got the corner. Really hooked that one, got on top of it. 11 hits for the Indians, 3 for the Diamondbacks. Will you steal this one when you have been dominated the whole game?
Dominated. However, the Indians have squandered so many opportunities. I mean, they've left a platoon of fellas on base. 11.
As Drupal Cabrera, first out of the inning. So Roberts is erased. And here's Juan Miranda.
Juan looking for a spark. Anything. Get him going.
Drops that one in there. A changeup. Wow, what a pitch. A curveball just a little bit low from Carrasco. 24 years old. Again, part of the Cliff Lee trade a couple of years back. With Jason Donnell, Jason Knapp, Lou Marson for Ben Francisco and Cliff Lee. That's how he became an Indian. As that one is low, 2-1. Yancy Brazaban is warming in the pen. They play Miranda to pull on the infield. Bouncing ball, it's foul. 2-2. Last time out, it was a loss, interestingly enough, for Carrasco as Sip and Herman are warming in the pen. But he didn't give up anything. Bullpen betrayed him a bit. He went 8 innings against the Giants and gave up 1 earned run. There's some defense and bullpen struggles. So it was a 4-3 loss. Start before that, beat the Pirates 6 1/3. They didn't have a chance. Gave up 1 run. It was a 5-1 win. He had never faced the Diamondbacks in a regular season game before today. Maybe in the Cactus League. But they'll remember him now.
Oh, man. I know I will.
I'll remember this staff. The 3 starters we've seen. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Brad, boy, kick it on down to you. I know you've got some different type of all-star news.
Yeah, great news today for a foursome of Reno Aces. Outfielder Colin Cowgill, shortstop Cody Ransom, second baseman Tony Abreu, and Conrad Schmidt, the catcher, all selected to play in the AAA All-Star Game July 13th in Salt Lake City. Cowgill having a monster season, hitting .363. He's got 110 hits. Ransom has 70 runs batted in, and Abreu's working on a 18-game hitting streak. So great news for those guys. They'll take on the international squad in the International League on the 13th up in Salt Lake City.
The pride of Grand Canyon, Cody Ransom. So congratulations to all of them. Down the line, there's that man again, Gerardo Parra, picking him up and putting him down. Picks up his third base coach, Matt Williams, says stop right there. And Willie Mo Pena has a bat. Be interesting to see this response when he is announced.
No, I have a feeling it's going to get loud. People like this guy. People like big guys.
Hitting for Alberto Castillo, number 16.
They're warming to him. There's a reason why. They're getting to know what he can do. 2 big homers. It's coming as a member of these Diamondbacks late in ball games. This is last night.
Oh, wow. Cobra, really?
Wow. Well, that's a big compliment there. Hey, look, if you're a Pirates fan and you're coming onto this side, Willie Mo ready to go. The numbers, 3 home runs in 25 at-bats. He's got 6 hits. 3 of them are homers. He has struck out 11 times. That's the other part of the story.
Oh, yeah. That's what makes him fun.
He started hitting in the cage in the 5th inning. That's his routine. Outside, and he said in the minor leagues this morning we were talking, he said, I got to the point where I never looked for fastballs because I never saw them. And he was hot in the minor leagues. I mean, jalapeno hot.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
If that's a strike, that's a long at-bat for Willie Mo Pena.
Wow.
Yeah, if that's a strike, that's a good 5 inches off the plate there.
Yeah, by the way, a spot got opened up in that AAA All-Star team, and he came to the big leagues. The 1-1. And I think you have taught us very well that everyone would much prefer to be a Major League pinch hitter than a AAA All-Star.
Very well said.
With all due congrats to those in the minors that are there, like 110 hit Colin Cowgill. Here's Willie on 2-1. Again on the corner. 2-2.
Again. Reno's a wonderful town, but Phoenix got a little more to it. 2-2. Hasn't swung the bat yet.
And it's been fastballs that have extended that plate a little bit. Let's see if he goes out to that outside corner, but throws a slider starting out there. The 2-2. Got him. He went out there with a breaking ball. This time, Pena comes up empty. Not like last time. This right-hander's been tough. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats with no blackout dates. Sonic, America's driving. It's new, it's better. It's the new Sonic Good. By the new Quest 5-year price lock promise. Visit quest.com/promise for details. Yancy Braziban back in the major leagues. One-time closer for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Goes to work, fires a fastball at 93 miles an hour. He, like Castillo before him, has been on quite a journey. And he finds his way back through Reno. As that one is low and inside, where this year Braziban, who is now 31 years old. You see the major league numbers in Reno this year. Had a 2.70 ERA. Also pitched for the Texas organization in their AAA affiliate of Round Rock. Out of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Up and into the seats it goes. You can go back a couple of years, and Braziban had 21 saves as a Dodger in 2005. Last time he has been in the big leagues was all the way back 2008. May 18th, 2008, against the Angels. What are we looking at? Fastball, slider?
Fastball, kind of a slurvy breaking ball, if you will. Somewhere between a curveball and a slider. An occasional changeup.
Braziban initially a Yankee to start his career. There's that breaking ball you're talking about. The count is 2-2. The count back in 2003, he was traded from the Yankees with Brandon Whedon, Jeff Weaver, and some money for Kevin Brown.
That's been a while.
Yeah, all the way back in 2003. A little slapper out to Roberts. Has to hurry it. Nice play by Ryan Roberts.
Well, you have to have a strong arm to get it across the diamond like that. When you back up at third base, you are going to have a long throw. And a long throw he made perfectly.
Here's Orlando Cabrera. Hopefully that eye's all right. Little bruise. He was hit with the ground ball earlier, Roberts. As that one is a strike. Played it on the backhand. Kind of took a bad hop, hit him in the cap bill and right around his eye as well.
Yeah, he'll be just fine. He's a tough kid. It's mom's little firecracker.
She did say that, didn't she?
What about the pitch? I would imagine is what Montero is saying. Is the pitch a strike? Kind of looked like one.
Now, we talked about Alberto Castillo through independent leagues making his way back. Breaking ball. Good looking pitch there. 1-2. Braziban made his way back by pitching in Mexico the last couple of summers. Well, look at the balance Cabrera had, just standing still like that.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
1-2.
What a great shot that was. Oh, he hung on that
drive.
time.
That one stood still. The pitch up in the zone. Parra had all the intentions. Oh boy, what a little slide.
Oh no. He twisted an ankle, it looks like. I guess he's going to be okay. And in a situation like that, you love the effort from Gerardo Parra, no question about it. Let's see if that ankle got hung underneath. Yeah, right there. Ouch.
He's just sliding and then hit dirt.
Well, watch there, right there. Ouch. And right there in that situation, a ball to left field, you can go ahead and play that off the wall and it's still going to be a double. It's going to be a double either way. So you love the effort out there by Gerardo Parra, but you hate the possible injury.
Well, Arizona just tired of that name Cabrera.
I would think the American League is too.
There's Drupal Cabrera, Orlando Cabrera,
Miguel Cabrera, Melky Cabrera.
Just no fun last 9 games.
Good players.
Just getting Cabrera. That one misses. One and 0 the count. That's all that American League stuff. We got to check the Oakland roster if there's a Cabrera.
Probably 3.
1 and 0 the count. That one misses low. Billy Beane, I'm told, is out scouting multiple Cabreras right now as we speak. He heard about a young, talented.
Really now?
Young, talented kid in San Jose who's playing summer ball. He may just sign him for the series. Three and 0. That's ball 4 here in a moment on the intentional walk. Kirk Gibson seeing what he has in both of these arms. Club is down, but again, you're pitching for the ball game here if you're Brazoban. Arizona has 6 more outs to play with, 2 runs they need. You can't give up any more.
That's exactly right, Darren. You've done a great job somehow keeping this a close ball game, because the Cleveland Indians have owned the action today. There's no question about that. But they've left 11 base runners through 7 innings. And there's a couple more out there in this one. There's a good fastball to the inside corner.
There's plenty left in the arm, and the breaking ball is sharp for Brazoban. He's trying to pitch himself back into major league legitimacy after battling injuries, after finding his way to the big leagues.
Another good fastball again, and that one froze Santana.
0-2 the count.
Thank you very much.
Wow, over the inside corner. That is strike 3.
That looks to me like that's the place to go with Carlos Santana. If you can go to the inside corner with 3 straight fastballs, you're going to catch him looking, and that's exactly what happened.
So Santana is done. One more big out to get, and Travis Buck. Buck came on, and stayed in defensively, came on as a pinch hitter. A bullpen working out there for the Indians as Montero will come out. May as well get it right when you have a new set of signs for a new pitcher. But Carrasco has thrown 106 pitches. And the Indians have a really good bullpen if you've missed all of the games in this series. You think he's done at 106?
He didn't show any signs of wilting last inning. He was pretty doggone good.
Boy, right back over the outside corner. Zach Duke went 5 innings, gave up 9 hits, 4 runs earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. ERA on the season of 5.92 now. Breaking ball, good take, 1-1 the count. After that, Joe Patterson got a little bit of a mess, but he had a scoreless third of an inning. Heilman an inning and a third, good work. Castillo a third of an inning, scoreless, and now Yancy Brazoban. Oh my, 1-2 the count. Well, if he's anything, he is certainly not fearful of being back up here. He's been in these situations before.
Sure.
Just a matter of if the stuff still exists. The 1-2. Fastball. 2-2 the count. Later on tonight, Tim Lincecum against Ryan Dempster in about an hour and a half. Line drive, center field. Base hit by Buck, and it's 5-2.
That one's probably the biggest blow right there. That's going to be tough to overcome. 3 runs. A big 2-out base hit by Travis Buck. That's a little breathing room there. Fastball away. Buck just rips it right back into center field. That's just nice hitting there by the former ASU standout.
So now Austin Kearns. That one misses low. So the Diamondbacks are big Cubs fans now.
Well, they need to start take care of their own business.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Not worry too much about the San Francisco Giants.
My guess is they haven't until they have had the free time. There's not much of that. 1-1 the count. Boy, 2-out runs hurt, don't they?
Yeah, and right now Kirk Gibson, more so than the Giants, probably worried about losing 4 of their last 5.
Arizona coming into play today, 7 over 500. San Francisco 12 over 500. You see the difference of 2.5 games in the standings. And then later tonight, Dempster against Lincecum. Montero fortunate. He backhanded a slider there in the dirt. 2-2 the count. 6 outs to play with, but now a 3-run deficit.
It's going to be a lot to ask, but Diamondbacks they've crawled out of bigger holes.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Austin Kearns, but a huge add-on run against new Diamondback Yancy Brazoban.
Our selections. Help send your favorite Diamondback players to the National League All-Star team by voting up to 25 times now through tomorrow at noon at dbacks.com. Vote now at dbacks.com.
Good read.
Well, it was.
All right, time to go to work. Kelly Johnson, Stephen Drew, and Justin Upton. He's Mark Grace.
Hi.
Stunky is down below. Brad down there. And my name is Darren Sutton. Glad to have you with us tonight as we head on into the early part of the evening, late afternoon. Thanks for inviting us into your home.
Oh, boy.
Vinny Pestano pitched a couple of nights ago. He sprinted in from the bullpen the entire way. And the right-hander, he's taking the rock and he's ready to roll.
For Diamondback fans, that's bad news. And this is the matchup that tied up the ball game. An 11-pitch at bat a couple of nights ago. Pestano and Johnson, they had a great clash, ending in an RBI triple by Johnson and tying up the ball game.
Slider. Boy, that's called a strike. A slider at the belly button. 0-2 the count. Interleague baseball rolls on outside of the, as Kelly fouls that one off, the Cubs series against the San Francisco Giants. By the way, the Boston Red Sox, they take on Philadelphia tonight in Philly. David Ortiz is playing first base.
There you go.
The 0-2. Oh, my.
There's a little payback for Kelly Johnson, but this guy Pestano he is really good, folks.
Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. Stephen Drew, he was cool as he looked to stay back on a changeup. Made it a 5-2 game. Make that 4-2. The fifth run has crossed the plate since. But Big Papi, he's tired of pinch hitting.
He wants to play baseball.
He wants to get out there, put that glove on. He said with a little bit of a smile, they asked him, what's the state of your first baseman's mitt? You haven't used it in the game since last year. He said, it's as hard as a rock, but good hands never leave you.
That sounds like him.
0-1 the count.
Yeah, Diamondbacks got to break one of the best hitters for the Cleveland Indians. Didn't want to put the glove on. Travis Hafner.
Yeah, Hafner hasn't played in the field since the Diamondbacks won the West, 2007.
Really?
That one sails up and away.
Rip at me. When you're one of the main cogs in the offensive arsenal. Grab a glove.
The 1-2. Drew with a good take there. The Indians last few years have not been good in interleague play. 6-12 in 08, 5-13 in 09, 5-13 last year. They're 8-6 this year.
Well, they haven't been a very good team in those years as well.
Trying to win this series. Pestano, the 2-2.
Well, he is a bully on left-handed hitters, isn't he? Just pounds them in with those cut fastballs.
Indians bullpen solid, though they have been hit a bit in this series.
That's bad for them.
That one is on the ground. To the bag is Santana. Tim Belcher is the pitching coach. He speaks of the group, more man-to-man how they interact, this successful Indians bullpen.
They'll typically on road trips rent a suite, just a bullpen, get together and play cards, maybe have an adult beverage or two, and hang together. And that's kind of unique in today's game, I think, for groups of players to really hang together like that. And they're a really tight bunch, and they have each other's back, and best of all, they know how to pitch.
Togetherness. Now, it was interesting. He says you don't really see that very much in today's game. Belch and I about the same age. You saw it all the time. Teams that we played on.
0-1 the count to Justin Upton.
It's like
swing and a miss.
It's like our broadcasting team. We always go to your suite.
Yep.
Hang out up there. All the gang in the truck. And when you're nice enough to invite me, Roger always gets you that terrific suite. It's big league.
0-2 the count. It's up and away. And you see the exact same thing with J.J. Putz and the Diamondbacks bullpen. The exact same group mentality, team mentality, whether it's stretching before the game. A lot of the time in the middle of the day, you see a bunch of them going out to lunch together. It's the same exact thing. That one is outside. 2-2 the count. And J.J. has made it clear that he will be the organizer. He will be responsible to keep that unity. Indians have the same feeling. A little bit more with their leaders, and there's not a true older veteran like Putz down there in the Indians bullpen. The 2-2 outside. 3-2 the count. But you remember Scott Radinsky?
Oh, sure.
Long-time reliever.
Yeah.
That's their bullpen coach. He kind of keeps things in order in that sense.
Oh. Rad's just goofy enough to be a great left-handed pitcher that he was.
High fly ball into right center field. A clean inning for the man out of Cal State Fullerton, Vinny Pastano. Of Arizona. David Hernandez goes to work. And the right-hander, who last worked Sunday at Detroit, was part of the struggle. That bullpen blow-up. And he has a couple of days off and goes back to work. Thought we might not see him today, but he will maybe to clear his mind from Sunday work and then get ready with an off day for the upcoming 10-game road trip for the Arizona Diamondbacks. ERA jumped a full run. Boy, it's tough when you have a tough day. And he had been on a heck of a run. Talk about baseball being a funny thing. David Hernandez on June 7th at Pittsburgh didn't get anybody out and gave up 5 runs. After that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scoreless outings in a row. Base hit right side. Lou Morrison doing a nice job coming back home. Upton fires it in. Morrison. Plenty good cheering section with a lot of family and friends here with the double.
Rips it past a sprawling Juan Miranda. Nice effort there by Upton.
And now they want to get together with the runner on second. Here is Hanahan. I'll tell you, fielder's choice and a run scored, a ground out and an RBI, double and a walk. He might just get that promotion he's been bucking for.
Well, he has been. Much to the chagrin of some of his co-workers. Maybe a little obnoxious.
14 hits for the Indians. So the trip that waits around the corner for the Diamondbacks. The trip that
ain't gonna be easy.
It's not traditional, and it will be a challenge.
Oakland playing much better baseball under Bob Melvin. And then, I mean, the Milwaukee Brewers, that is a good baseball team.
Well, those are your two best teams in the Central back-to-back
and
for a
the
week.
Cardinals, unfortunately, you won't see Albert Pujols. I guess fortunately if you're trying to beat the Cardinals. But they are still very good. Putting a bunt on.
Arizona the last 3 of 4 weeks on the road before the All-Star game. After the All-Star game, they have 20 of 29 games at home.
About time.
20 of 29 games at home. And if they can go through this trip, play good baseball, play as they have on the road so far this year, they're 2 over on the road. If they can maintain any pace similar to that and stay in this race, they will be rewarded for staying in it in the second half with a ton of home games. When I say stay, they'll stay in the race no matter what, but stay at 3, a game and a half.
Because they play awfully well at home. Feel like we've been a member of those road warriors.
Oh, you mean Alberto Castillo's old team?
Yeah.
A couple of years back in the Atlantic League. Can you imagine that?
That's unbelievable. I've never heard of that.
They didn't have a home.
A home.
It was one of the teams that folded, and they said, well, we'll keep the team going. We'll just travel around. 2-2 the count.
Kind of makes you worry about your hygiene.
That's not really what I thought, but
that's where you and I differ. I do.
3-2 the count. I'm hoping if I'm traveling around that most of the places has, laundromats and showers. Fly ball belted deep in the left, but there to make the play as it dives into the glove of Parra Izarota. So Hanahan just got that one taken away, up and away. Here is Travis Hafner.
There he is.
He has struck out and he has walked in his 2 assignments as a pinch hitter.
I'm just thinking in the Atlantic League, some of the hotels they're staying in probably aren't Trump Towers.
Might not be the Trump Towers. I'm sure they're nice.
I don't know about that.
That one is away. 1-0 the count.
You might be able to rent them by the hour.
.183 career home runs, and he is a designated hitter.
Good changeup. We've seen a few changeups for David Hernandez here this afternoon. That's about 4 of them, Darren.
And especially to lefties. Maybe this is the case with David working of, if the opportunity presents itself, I'd love to get out there and work on that changeup. Use it in a high stress situation the next time out. The 1-1.
Beat him with a fastball.
1-2 the count. Outside, 2-2 the count. Boy, 96 miles an hour. Really played to pull Drew right behind the bag at second. Hafner
got him.
Got hit in the foot. So Travis Hafner will reach. These Indians go on to play more baseball in the National League. This road trip to Cincinnati. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They get back closer to home and take on the Reds. So Hafner again will not hit for 3 straight games more than once. There's a lot of gear going into this at bat. Bats and elbow pads. Here's Michael Brantley. There it is again. Changeup. It's called outside.
And Hafner gets a pinch runner. Cord Phelps. Tough day.
The 1-0. Lined up into the seats. Hopefully everyone's all right up there. Game number 82 of the season. Diamondbacks going over 1 million in attendance this afternoon. Good crowd again today, especially for a midweek day game. Justin Upton in right field. 2 outs in the inning for Orlando Cabrera.
Second baseman Orlando Cabrera.
All right.
You're ready.
A little fight in the 9th, maybe.
Really? I'll tell you what.
Offensively.
Oh.
Offensively.
I thought you just wanted to empty him and let's just go to let the best man win.
No. Offensively.
Oh, okay.
5-2 the score. Cabrera with a 3-hit day. He has scored a couple of runs. Had a nice series. And it continues. Base hit left field. Parra, the arm to the plate. The bounce, the tag, not in time.
Montero thinks he got him. I think DeMuro got that call right. The throw was just up the line enough. And you thought Parra would get him. But the throw's just up the line enough. Yeah, he got in there. That's the right call.
So 6-2 is the score. 15 hits for the Indians. I mean, just a step off, though. Here is Asdrubal Cabrera. That pitch is low. 1-0 the count. We'll be back on television Friday night with you. as Josh Colementer meets up with Rich Harden. The 1-0. Rich Harden's one of those guys that has always had high-end stuff, but never high-end health. It's his first start of the year.
Yeah, he's always been, no hitters. He takes no hitter stuff to the mound, but he's one of those guys that can throw 120 pitches in 5 innings.
Popped up and into the seats it goes. Rich Harden in his major league career is 55-34 with a 3.6 ERA and 9.1 strikeouts per 9.
Oh, yeah.
And in the last few years, he's made 18 starts, 26 starts, 12, 4, 9, 19.
It's been a struggle health-wise. But, boy, he's got great stuff.
We'll see him against Colementer Friday night. Changeup is fouled off. Excited to see. There's something always intriguing to me about the A's as a franchise as a whole.
Why is that?
That they have stayed relevant, successful. I mean, obviously a little bit below where they want to be over their time. And even going back to the A's of the 80s, they've never been a huge team at the gate there.
No. True.
The fans that come really want to be there. They have a great time.
They have great fans there. The party in left field every game.
The flags and the signs and the Mount Davis out there.
Yeah, they need a new stadium.
No, they certainly do.
It's a just honestly, it's a bad place to play baseball.
But through all that, I mean, you can even go back. I mean, really, you can go back as far as you want to the Charlie Finley A's.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an interesting franchise. So we're excited to bring 3 games from the Bay Area to you. Swing and a miss. And any team that wears white shoes when they go to battle against you, well, that's interesting too.
I agree.
Why don't you take this one? Your thoughts on Carlos Carrasco?
And in a word, fabulous. Gave up 2 solo shots today, and he just was in complete command. I mean, what did you think? I thought it was as good as anybody I've seen this year.
I thought it was page 3. And the first 2 pages were really interesting reads talking about these Indians and their pitchers, and he was the best. He was the best of the 3. Chris Perez, the closer for these Cleveland Indians.
In a non-save situation, it's a 4-run lead.
He came over in June of 2009 in the Mark DeRosa deal. He and Jess Todd part of that trade for Mark DeRosa from the Cardinals. That one sails up and into Chris Young. 1-0 the count. Pitched at Miami, the University of Miami, the U.
Down in Florida.
Down in Florida. 2-0 the count. Now, how does he get people out? What kind of stuff are we talking about?
Well, the arm angle is different. He's out about 3/4. He's got a fastball that runs in to right-handed hitters, and the slider, a drop-down slider that just kind of goes sideways away from him. There you see the movement there.
Saved 23 games last year. Had a 1.71 ERA.
Got hit pretty hard a couple of years prior, didn't he?
And Cleveland, when he first arrived in Cleveland, had an ERA of about 4.5. But the last 2 years, his ERA, put them both together, it's right at 2. First round pick of the Cardinals. Broke his bat, and that's a foul ball, so we'll do it again. Some of the other foes that are waiting as we speak about Oakland, the Milwaukee Brewers, they are taking on the New York Yankees tonight. Milwaukee will be next as that successful bullpen piles up saves and scoreless innings and hats.
Tony Sipp, the mannequin. Winning's fun, isn't it?
Line drive center. And there to make the play is Brantley. Young trying to use the big part of the ballpark, and Sipp just sits still. I didn't know he was in that great 80s movie, The Mannequin. That was a good movie.
Was there a movie called The Mannequin?
Absolutely.
And you liked it?
That wasn't a very good movie, actually.
Well, you know what a big league movie is? The Crow.
That one is
That is a big league movie.
1-0 the count.
You're going to love it, Darren. You just wait. You and the family. Girls will love it.
The 1-0 to Miguel is low. 2-0 the count. So it's something I should include the family in?
Of course. As it continues to pile up with debris now.
2-1 the count. It's getting pretty impressive here.
I was going to say they're going to need a stepladder here pretty soon.
Boy, what a tough life to be a relief pitcher. When the pressure's on, it's totally on. When it's not, it's really not. Pitch is up and away. 3-1 the count. It's like playing Jenga in the bullpen. They walked him. So maybe starting to piece something together, and you think about those late add-on runs, how this inning would feel so differently at 4-2. Montero reaches for the first time. Ryan Roberts hit by a pitch, stole a base, line to right and grounded to short. Sees that one head up toward the roof here at Chase. Under it to make the play at first base is Carlos Santana.
Roberts fit to be tied with himself after that pop out. That bat took a pretty good beating.
Don't forget our post-game show is coming up right around the corner. Getting all the hats back, distributed out. Sip was a good sport.
Everybody's got to get their hat back.
Slider locked him up. 0-1 the count. Miranda today 0 for 3. Sits at 218 on the season. I'm told something happened here to break it up. Wow.
What the heck was that all about?
Just too much violence on this show. We were talking about that earlier. That was a violent piece of video there. The 1-1. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, your first half memory, the beanball war.
Showed team unity.
A little violent. That's okay. Mine was Gibby losing it along with Bob Davidson.
Supporting his players.
Absolutely.
That one is inside. 2-2 the count. And you folks were great all throughout the afternoon, reminding us of great moments in the first half. You know, that man provided one last night, Willie Mo Pena. Josh Colementer's first major league start. Ian Kennedy's complete game outing. We'll talk about it in the post game as well. Meantime, popped up, giving it a look is Marson. Inappropriate that a Valley boy puts it away. And the Cleveland Indians win this series. The Arizona Diamondbacks fall a half game back. Watching now later on as San Francisco visits the Chicago Cubs. Tim Lincecum against Ryan Dempster in that one. And that ball game gets underway here in about an hour. There are the standings. Still a plenty good spot in comparison to last year, but it's been a tough series and a tough week or so of baseball games as the Diamondbacks head out on the road now for 10 games before the All-Star game. Let's get it on out to the post-game show. Got a lot to talk about. Got an Indian to speak with as well. Then into the Diamondbacks locker room. It's our post-game show. It's after this break.